আকবার আল্লাহু আকবার আশহাদু আল্লা ইলাহা
I was brought up as a Muslim, and the idea of social justice and the idea of helping those less fortunate than you has always been there, and I guess I have been influenced by that because it was always there with my parents. When you get involved in this kind of work, what it does is makes you a better Muslim or a better Christian, and that is the whole purpose of doing the work.
And talk to their staff. They will brief you about that.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say how honored I feel to be with you today. It makes me feel good that this kind of work is being done. But I'd like to get a sense from you of what it really means in human terms. Like in your hearts, how do you feel about what has been achieved here? The history of the International Development and Relief Foundation, I guess, is closely tied to the history of the Muslim community in Canada. Muslims are brought up to believe in helping people who are less fortunate than themselves. IDRF was small. The scope was narrowed down to really primary grassroots kind of organizations, helping maybe the most vulnerable of the disadvantaged people, basically women and children, because they seem to be the most vulnerable in many countries. So in this way, IDRF tries to fulfill the wishes of the Muslim community.
We do many things. We train people in disaster management and preparedness. As part of that, the group members are now depositing savings, and after a disaster, they can use the fund to solve their immediate needs.
In '93, we established a disaster preparedness and prevention project. And the purpose of that was that there would be a fund in the event of emergencies or disasters that could be used in order to help get families back on their feet.
There is a case of a family who lived hand to mouth from fishing. After getting a loan from work, they were able to purchase a fishing net, and now they can fish on their own, and they're sending their 4 children to school.
We have made a lot of changes.
I have repaired the house. She is sending the children. We have 4 children to school. With the loan from work, we purchased 1 fishing net, and now we are earning what we need with what we catch from the sea.
Before, there was no money for food and clothes. Now he can purchase food. Our kids have clothes for school.
As husband and wife, we had a bad relationship. But with work support and solving our financial troubles, the relationship is good between husband and wife, and also with the children.
Now we are thinking that one day we will live on our own land and not rented land.
We will build a house on our own land and live there very peacefully. That is our dream. And we know that to get there, we will have to ask work for some help again.
Some of the other issues that were in the community, one was the high rates of child and maternal mortality and illness rates. And there were several factors that were contributing to this. One was poor water and sanitation facilities. So the project itself is providing 300 sanitary latrines and 30 shallow tube wells being the source of clean and safe drinking water.
Together we built some latrines and designed training to keep them sanitary. This ended the previous practice of going to the bathroom in the outside in the open places. We also built tube wells connected to deep groundwater, so now they have safe water facilities.
There is a management committee for each tube well, and so they meet together, and when there is a requirement, they organize and they raise some funds from the people, and they buy the spare parts and help the caretaker to repair the tube wells.
For the children, education means going to school every day, and that includes the little girls.
Education for children is a real issue, especially for girls. There's not many opportunities for girls to go to school.
To overcome this, one of the things that's done is to establish either non-formal schools or early childhood education classes. What they do is they train some local people to provide the early childhood classes, and it has to be non-formal schools because a lot of the children have to go to work as soon as they can to support the family unit.
As the villagers became more united, they looked at the problem of not having a school near their village. We worked together to get this school, which the parents helped to pay for. And now they have a school and their children are coming.
Mothers groups or parent groups are being formed around the schools because ultimately when Village Education Resource Center's funding to those schools stopped, we want the schools to continue. And so we're trying to form community groups that will have input into the management and the curriculum of the schools, but will also develop a sense of ownership and will hopefully pay for the teachers.
And this is a method of organizing the mothers of the community and giving them a sense of power, a sense of direction. And the effect of that is that these organized mothers committees then not only run the schools, but they get involved in the micro-credit program, they get involved in the micro-enterprises, and they become the focus for further development programs in that community.
When women get income, when women are capable of getting a loan and also providing income to their families, it elevates both their level of power within a family and their decision-making capacity. It's not the loans that, or the repayment of the loans that matter, it's what kind of impact that additional money has made in the family. Has it allowed children to eat better? Has it allowed them to improve their living conditions or access health services or pay for medicine that might be needed?
In order to do all of these things, they have to organize themselves. And when they organize themselves, they learn to make decisions. They learn to interact with other people as a group, which is something that they've never done before. And it gives them an enormous sense of empowerment. And that is what we mean by capacity building.
You've essentially involved a community in wanting to improve its own living conditions and environment, and their ideas don't stop when your funding stops. One of the biggest successes is the ability of a community to be able to continue to meet their needs over the long term.